children, gather around, and I shall tell you a story nearly as old as time itself. Well, 3,400 years old to be precise.
The Jews were enslaved in Egypt for many, many years, and they had to do all these hard tasks and all this work, and they were treated very badly.
They worked hard all day, every day, in dangerous conditions, building cities, never spending time with their families, always being treated so badly. It just wasn't fair.
There was a mean man named Pharaoh.
Pharaoh was threatened by the very large number of Israelites and told his people that the Israelites are much too numerous for us.
The evil Pharaoh was so insecure, he thought the Hebrews would eventually outnumber his people. So he actually decreed that all Jewish boys should be killed. Now, as you know, most Jewish mothers would do just about anything to protect their children, and this was no different in ancient times. One Jewish mother in particular felt the only way to save her child was to give him away. So she wrapped him in a blanket, put him in a basket, and set him in the Nile River.
Pharaoh's daughter came to bathe in the river. She saw the basket, and when she opened it, she saw that it was a child. A beautiful baby boy was crying. She realized that he was a Jewish child, but she had compassion for the baby and resolved to take him home.
And that baby was Moses.
Moses grew up in the palace as the son of the Pharaoh's daughter, and he was well educated and treated like an Egyptian prince.
But in reality, he was a mensch. He didn't like the way the Pharaoh was treating the slaves, and when he found out his true heritage, he ran away from Egypt, far, far away.
So he leaves, and what does he see, Amanda?
He sees a burning bush, and he thinks, like, wow, that's crazy, it's on fire and it's still alive. And he realizes that God is talking to him through this bush.
And God told him, you need to go and ask Pharaoh to make the Jews free and to stop treating them so badly.
I have seen the misery of my people in Egypt and heard their cries. I will bring them out of slavery from the Egyptians and bring them to a land flowing with milk and honey.
So Moses goes to Pharaoh and he says, Pharaoh, let my people go. And Pharaoh says, no.
Pharaoh, Pharaoh, what are you doing? What are you doing, Pharaoh, Pharaoh? Let my people go. Huh.
Moses went to Pharaoh and asked him to please set the Jews free, but Pharaoh refused. God was not happy that Pharaoh was unwilling to set the Jews free.
And so God told Moses to release the 10 plagues, some of them including the water turned to blood, or frogs, or locusts.
Water turned to blood. There were frogs, balls of hail, locusts, you name it, God sent it.
And the 10 plagues were blood, and then frogs, and then locusts, and then flies, and then cattle disease, and then boils, hail, lice, darkness, and the big one is death of the firstborn son for the Egyptians.
Finally, the 10th plague, the angel of death, would take the firstborn child. Well, the Hebrews were told to mark their homes with lamb's blood so the angel of death would pass over, which is exactly what happened.
The Jews did as God commanded them and waited for the day, and on the 15th day of Nisan, God released his rage. He killed the firstborn Egyptians, one in every family. Every father lost a son, and every mother her baby.
The final plague, death of the firstborn, Pharaoh finally decided to let the people go after much convincing.
Go out from Egypt and into your promised land. You are a free people, no longer subject to my command.
The Jews left Egypt with sacks on their backs and faith in their heart.
But wait, first they didn't have time to bake bread for the journey, so they
made matzah.
They made matzah, which is a kind of cracker.
An unleavened bread.
Unleavened bread.
So the Israelites departed Egypt, and God went before them, guiding them with a pillar of cloud during the day and a pillar of fire at night. Then Pharaoh changed his mind. He was furious and angry with himself for letting the Israelites go. So he sent his army of chariots and horses after them to bring them back.
They got trapped at the Red Sea. God told Moses to slam his staff down into the sea, and so he did. The sea split. The sea split in two, and they walked. And they walked through the parted sea.
They walked across the sea and they sang Micha Mocha.
And then the Egyptians came and the sea went back to one.
And drown them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Recognizing the great miracle that had occurred, Moses and the Israelites sang a song of praise to God, and Miriam, Moses' eldest sister, and the women danced for joy.
The Jews were free.
The Jews rejoiced and celebrated. This is what we celebrate every Passover, the freedom of the Jews.
It is about triumph over a class system, social justice, faith, truth, and freedom.
Why do we celebrate Passover?
We celebrate Passover to celebrate the Jews' victory of escaping. And then they wandered in the desert for 40 years. Yay!
And
They all lived happily ever after.
yep, Passover.
Happy Passover.